Alright friends, we've drawn the winner of the September 2023 knife giveaway at YouTube channel JohnKlahr. The winner of the K-Bar Folding Hunter could be you. But before we announce the winner, we need to get this knife ready. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. It's what keeps the channel going. Thank you. So yes, before we announce the winner, we need to get the knife prepped to send out to you. Out of the box, if you remember, the K-Bar was a little bit on the dull side. But we're going to correct that issue before we put it back in the box and send it out to you. And my last video shows how we dragged out the Hapstone Sharpener out of retirement and created this little modification here to help sharpen our knives. We also got some Venev Ursa Diamond Stones, an 80, 150, 240, 400, 800, and 1200 grit to update from our older original stones that came with the sharpener. I've also got some leather strops with diamond paste, and we're going to be using a little bit of Dawn and water to lubricate everything. So we're going to turn the Spyderco mod back to the original flat side because this K-Bar knife has a straight spine and we don't want to use the pointed side, but we do have a thumb stud on here that's in the way, so we're going to grab our Weehub bits and remove that thumb stud so we can get it indexed on the sharpening bed better. These Weehub bits are machined great. They're from Germany and less chance of stripping out these small screws than when using the cheaper Chinese bits that you get off of eBay and Amazon. Go ahead and purchase good tools. A little bit more you spend now saves in the long run. Alright, so our modification is going to allow us to mount this K-Bar knife on the flat side because it's got the flat spine, and it's going to make it easier to index. And we're going to start out with the 80 grit Ursa Diamond Stone, and we're going to install that onto the Hapstone sharpening arm, and it just has a spring-loaded clamp that holds it in place. Now I want to check our sharpening angle with the little degree finder here. Just a cheap $10 one I got off of Amazon, but it works fine. And I'm going to put it on the blade and zero it, and then put it on the arm, and I have roughly a 19.5 degree angle, and that's where I want to be on this knife. It'll work fine. Some people will argue the point, but I think this will work fine. So now we're going to lubricate our stone. Like I said, they got water with a little bit of Dawn in here for lubrication. I think it works great, and we just start working. I'm going back and forth strokes on here with the 80 grit, and just going to make sure I reprofile this at my 19.5 degrees. And I'm switching the side, and I will do the other side. Now, if you notice, when I switch side to side, I'm going to get a little better. My modification, I think I'm real happy with it, and you'll see like it's a little clumsy at first, but once I get used to it, I switch back and forth a lot quicker. And I've also trimmed this video down some for time's sake. I probably have an hour sharpening this knife, and we're going to try to get this thing down to about a 10-minute video. I know you're anxious to see who the winner is and see if it's you, and I promise it's coming very soon. Just please watch the video through. It's only a little over 10 minutes, and it really does help the view time on my channel. It helps support the channel. YouTube wants to see, people watch the videos, and they rate how long people watch the videos. So the longer you hang in there, the better it is for the channel, and the better it is for the giveaways. So, and I do appreciate it. And furthermore, this could be your knife. You could be looking at everything I'm doing to prep the knife that's fixing to be sent out to your house if you are the winner, because this knife is being announced at the end of this video. You watch and see, and it might be you. So we're just working our way through the sharpening process. I'm going back and forth. You know, we started out with the 80 and then switched over to the 150, and just cleaning up as I go. Just so you know, I did order a newer style Hapstone Sharpener, the RS series. I should have that next week. It's going to be a little smaller. It has the style clamp that flips back and forth. It just so happens after I posted this video, or after I posted the video showing my mod, they had a sale, a 24-hour sale, and I took advantage of that, and I got a pretty good discount, and it made it worthwhile to upgrade to the newer RS style. Now, this sharpener here, I'll still use it for my bigger knives because the RS is a little smaller, it's lighter, more compact, takes up less space. It's got some different features on it. I think you're going to be happy. I'm going to take a full video of that, unboxing, setting it up, sharpening some of my knives, but you'll see. Alright, so back to this video. And we're just going back and forth, like I said, working my way through the 80, through the 150, you know, doing the 240 and the 400, and all of these, you know, keeping the stones lubricated with the Dawn and water, and just I'm using a back and forth motion, you know, checking for burrs, and like I said, I cut this down quite a bit, but I probably spent a good 3 or 4 minutes on each side before I flipped it, and just, you know, kind of did crisscross and make sure I got the pattern on there, got the scratch marks out from the coarser grit from the previous stone, and I really just took my time on it here. But we also reprofiled this from the get-go here. So I started out at the coarsest grit. Here we're switching to the 240 and 400 stone. But remember, we started out at 80, reprofiled it. So this is taking much longer than if we just already had profiled the knife. We knew what our profile was, and we were just touching up the knife. It would only took maybe, you know, 4 or 5 minutes to touch up the knife and strop it, versus reprofiling the blade angles, and that's what we're doing here. So that's why it's taking so long. Also, you know, back to that that new RS Hapstone. That, like I said, that'll be used for my folding pocket knives and stuff. This one here, I'll still use for my kitchen knives and my fixed blade and my larger knives. It's got a lot longer arm. It's a lot sturdier, a lot bigger, and it can clamp a thicker knife as well. Alright, so now I'm switching over to the 800 grit. I'm going to change my technique. I'm only going to go in one direction here, like this. I don't want to go back and forth. I mean, you could. I don't know if it makes that big a difference, but this is the way I like to do it. This is the way my granddad, he always told me to go to one direction. He said don't go in 2 directions. Well, newer sharpening techniques, you know, certain stones and stuff like that, I'll go 2 direction. My Spyderco bench stones, I use 2 direction. Here's a little different view. So still working at 800 grit, just taking my time, and really not putting a whole lot of pressure, just pretty much the weight of the stone on there. And this is where the blade really starts taking on its edge, is now that we've gotten to the 800. And I'm just being real careful. I don't want to put any nicks or scratches in there that I got to take back out. And we flipped it and done the other side. Now what I'm doing here is, this is a Spyderco ultra fine from my Sharpmaker, Spyderco Sharpmaker stone, triangle shaped stone, and this Hapstone arm is long enough to hold it. And you know, I wanted to take it up a little bit finer stone, and the finest stone I had in the diamond was 1200. I think this thing's supposed to be, you know, somewhere 3,000 or 4,000. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but it's just taking it a little bit further up. And you know, these spider coat stones are awesome anyway. They're ceramic stones. But I've never used them in the Sharp Maker, but I wanted to use them. They were brand new. I got 2 of them I bought a long time ago. Alright, so now we'll clean that up, and you can see that edge is getting pretty shiny, and it's starting to get pretty sharp. But we still got a little bit more cleanup on that. I'll show you what we're going to do here. So now we're going to take what could be your knife and take a leather strop to it and some diamond paste. And these are fairly new, so I'm going to load it up with paste pretty good. Probably putting more on here than I should, but when I got a new strop, I load them up pretty good. So we put the strop on here and make sure that thing is lubed from end to end with the diamond paste. Get our blade fastened back in here. Now with the leather strop on a guided sharpening system, you have to make sure you pull towards you. Your instinct's going to want to go back and forth because you've been doing that for quite a while. It's very important. You got to go one direction or you cut that leather strop, and these things are 15 bucks a pop. You know, you can ruin them pretty quick. Also, if you noticed, I marked the back of it with what diamond paste is on here. All those marking, I just bought a orange paint markers. It's a permanent marking system, and when they were all dry, I marked them all, and every once in a while you got to go in and mark them again. But now we got that knife stropped. Alright, so September 2023 knife giveaway. It was dull out of the box. That sucker's cutting like a razor now. Look at that. It's slicing it like nothing. Okay. I think this passes the test. I think it's good enough. It's worthy of sending out from my channel to the winner, which we're fixing to announce here in a minute. But first we got to get the thumb stud back in there. So let's get it on there. Get it started. Get our little wee haul bit. Get it torqued down good and tight where it's not going to come off. And then let's take some zero friction needle oiler and lube up the knife. Make sure it's got plenty of lube in there. And then our wee haul bit, we're going to come back and we're going to adjust the friction on this knife, get it tuned up for you. And here's our lucky subscriber who won the K-Bar Folding Hunter. Make sure you get an address to me either in the comment section here, or you can send me an instant message on Facebook, and I'll get that out in the mail to you next week. Also, make sure everybody's subscribed for the bird knife giveaway in October. It's a beautiful knife, great knife. I'll do a full review on this. But make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And let's congratulate the winner. And thanks again for watching.